Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I have a Dazzled or Disappointed for you today on the new Bobbi Brown Infra-Red eyeshadow palette that I picked up at the Rouge event. The funny thing about this is I had already filmed this video with my decision on how I like the palette after using it a few times. Had to trash that video for certain reasons. I will tell you later on, and here I am filming it again. That being said, I want to thank you guys so much for all of the, how can I put it? Y'all know me so well because today is the day that that ColourPop announced on Instagram that they are releasing a Disney collection in about a week or so. I can't even tell you. Excitement is just an understatement because those of you who know me, and y'all seem to know me very, very well because I got so many tags and comments on Instagram, and it just warmed my heart that y'all know me that well, and I love that we've gotten to know each other like that as part of this YouTube family. It's just really, really nice, but excitement was an understatement. I wanted to scream when I saw that picture because I saw the picture on my feed and I was like, that looks kind of like Disney. And I zoomed in a little more on the picture and I was like, ah! So I am so excited, you guys. So thank y'all so much for all of the tagging and all of that because, you know, what if I hadn't seen it? And I appreciate that y'all think of me like that. I really do. So, okay, let's move on. If you're interested to see how this performed for me, swatches, what I'm wearing on my eyes, then just keep on watching. Alright guys, so the box comes like this. It's your typical Bobbi Brown box. Nothing super spectacular. It is the Infra-Red eyeshadow palette. The palette comes like this in kind of a duo chrome. It's kind of a shifting type of packaging. It's very, very pretty. It's orange if you move it one way. It's pink if you move it another. On the back, you do have the diagram of the eyeshadow palette with all the shade names. Also, the shade names are not included on the inside. So basically, this is where you get your shade names. So before we go into that, let me just real quick give you the details, the deets from the Sephora website. Right now it appears it's out of stock. I don't think that's the case. I think they released it for the Rouge event, which was Saturday. So online on Saturday you could pick these products up if you were Rouge. And then what happens is they go away for a little while and then they are released to just in general for you to pick up. So it is, I'm sure, coming very soon. It is $39. It's limited edition. You get 8 pounds of product. It's 0.54 ounces, 15.3 grams. It is a mix and match spectrum of matte, metallic, and sparkle shades, perfect for creating sizzling eye looks. This palette offers a spectrum of matte, metallic, and sparkle shades from amber and bronze to burgundy and taupe that are perfect for creating smoldering looks. So just as an FYI, the pans of product, there are, let's see, 6 pans of product at 0.07 ounces. There are 2 pans of product at 0.06 ounces, and they are the, let's see, the chrome metal shadows. So there's a little bit less product. We'll go over those details here shortly. Let's see, I have an itch on my back. I'm sorry, that looks so weird. Lastly, this is made in the USA, so for those of you who are interested in that. So you open this up, you've got the mirror on the inside. It does fold all the way back, and then you've got the 8 pans of product right there. Let me kind of bring you in close. Quite frankly, on camera and in pictures does not do it justice. Honestly, I had not planned on picking this up, and then at the Rouge event, I swatched it and was like blown away. And I was like, I do need to pick this up. So also another thing, if you have not yet seen this in person and you've kind of only seen the stock photos online and you're anything like me, it looked like a whole lot of red tone shades in there, and it is anything but. There are no red tone shades, so I don't know how that coloring got a little bit wonky, but that is the case there. So these are the shades that we've got to work with, just kind of bronzes, browns, things like that. No reds, but it is called the Infra-Red palette. Anyways, so let me take you into swatches real quick and then we'll move on from there. For the top row, we've got Stone Cold, which is a matte, Red Rock, which is a matte, Behind the Sun is a metallic, and Infra-Red is a chrome metal. That's what those look like right there. My apologies for getting a little close on these two together, a little bit of operator error there. So for the second row, we've got Slow Burn, it's a sparkle. Fever Dream is a chrome metal. Interstellar is a chrome metal. And Solar Flame is an eyeshadow, a matte eyeshadow, sorry. And the whole deciding factor for me on picking this bad boy up was this Interstellar shade right here. Now that we've gone through swatches, it's time to show you and tell you what I have on my eyes. So for the crease shade, I have this shade right here, which is called Red Rock. On the lower lash line, I have the deepest shade, which is called Solar Flame. Also on the outer portion of the eyelid, I have that Solar Flame shade. Middle or 3/4 out into kind of like a 1/4 in, I have, which one do I have? It's this one called, what is this called? Fever Dream. It's this one right here. The inner portion of the lid, I have the gold one called Slow Burn. And then on the inner corner, I have Interstellar, which is right here. So let me zoom you in and then we'll go over that again together. So here we go. Let's take it again from the crease. I've got Red Rock, and then from, let's see, lower lash line, I've got Solar Flame, same thing right here. I have got Fever Dream from about here to here, and then this gold shade is Slow Burn. This shade right here, again, the one that convinced me to buy the palette is Interstellar. And that's what that eye look looks like today. So quite a bit of sparkle. I hope it's coming across as metallic and sparkly as it is. And that is our look for today. So that being said, I feel like I've been saying that phrase a lot in videos, and I don't know why I never used to say it a whole lot before. Anyways, so let's move into thoughts real quick. So you remember how I told you at the beginning of the video that I had already filmed this. I had used it a few times, liked it very much. The more I used it, the more I was figuring out different ways to use it. So the mattes in this palette, so specifically these two mattes right here, the browns, are very, very stiff. There's no kick up whatsoever, but they're also very stiffly packed in there. So they're drier to the touch, and also they require more buildup. So like this right here, this outer portion of my lid is going in about 3 times with product so that I could deepen it up to what I wanted it to be, more of like a little smoky area over there. So just know that these mattes are a little bit more, well, not a little, they're a lot stiff. So you're gonna have to probably build up. That's not an issue for a lot of people. People sometimes prefer to be able to build up because then it's not, you don't risk the mistake of putting too much. This particular shade right here, Interstellar, looks beautiful wet. It looks best applied with the finger, which is my preferred method. It is very intense, very sparkly. The only way I can think to describe it to you is like diamonds on your eyelid. Do you remember in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, how Matthew McConaughey's whole thing is frost yourself? That's what immediately came to my mind with this shade when I swatched it in store and when I've used it on my eyes, is frost yourself, because it is so intense sparkly. If you are shy to sparkle, if you don't like sparkle, you won't like this. There's a lot of sparkle going on in this palette. This gold shade right here, this shade so basically both of these that I am wearing, what are these called again? Slow Burn and Fever Dream, also beautiful as far as sparkle factor. I consider them maybe not as intense, but almost like a slightly toned down version of a Pat McGrath sparkle shade. Just slightly, you know, just a notch less. In the light, you can see all of the sparkle going on. It is very, very beautiful. So this satin shade performs as a normal satin shade would. Take a brush, put it on. These two right here, I find best applied with glitter glue. I have tried them wet, I have tried them with my finger, and glitter glue seems to be the ideal method. That's what I'm using today, and this is the best they have performed so far. So glitter glue is the key to these. This little bad boy right here, that's kind of like it's really interesting. It's kind of got a brown-orange shift that if you look at it in one light, it looks kind of orange. If you look at it in another, it looks kind of like a reddish brown. It is the shade Infra-Red, appropriately so. This is the shade I find to perform the poorest of the bunch. It's got a very like thin consistency, so if I use it wet, it's okay. If I use it with my finger with nothing underneath, like let's just say I haven't put another shadow underneath and I'm using this as my shadow like my primary shadow for the lid. It looks very thin. You can see little pieces of my eyelid like peeking through. It just doesn't cover. It's not as opaque. It's very thin. That's the best way I can describe it. So very underwhelmed by this shade right here, and haven't really found a way that brings out the best in that eyeshadow. So that being said, there's a lot of amazing qualities to this palette. Don't get me wrong. I think $39 for a Bobbi Brown eyeshadow palette is an amazing price, because honestly I was like, wow, 39, I thought this would be more like 49. I don't know. I don't buy a whole lot of Bobbi Brown, mainly because of the price tag. The next thing is that there are some shades that perform beautifully. So like, again, I am very, very pleased with the eye look today. I have been very happy previous days with the looks I've come up with. When I did a look with this shade right here, I was incredibly disappointed. I'm like, So anyways, all in all, I think it's a great value. I think there's a lot of good quality here. What I have to disclose is that these take work in knowing how to apply them in order to bring out the best in them. If you're wanting like a holiday sparkle look that's just going to wow everybody because it's holidays, we're looking for that holiday makeup that is out of the ordinary. It's this time of year where we want that special kind of makeup. And so this can be it if you use it the right way. Again, either with glitter glue, with your finger, that kind of thing. So as long as you're willing to put in the work, then this really is a beautiful palette. So that being said, when I originally filmed the review for this, it was prior to the review that I filmed for the highlighter duo, and I was just beyond over the moon for this. So that's why I had mentioned in that highlighter video, Bobbi Brown is where it's at this holiday season. And I don't think that's wrong. I think there's a lot. I think just, she also has a purple one in these that looks very interesting. When I filmed that one, it was a Dazzled for me when I filmed this originally. I trashed it because the more I was using it and the more I was finding that you have to use shades different ways, which usually, if you know me, usually isn't a breaking point. It's not like a, you know, it's not something I move to the side just because you have to work at it. If it gives you the great results, then yeah, but you have to really work at it in order to get some pretty good results. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if I can describe it. So I had to trash that video because I felt I don't want to put something out for you guys and then you go buy it and you're like, Michelle, really? Like this shade? Why is it so sheer? Why am I using it the way you said and it's not working out for me? So anyways, trash that one. Thought I would redo this again with my new thoughts, because usually I can tell with about 4 or 5 uses if I am pretty dazzled by something or if I'm disappointed by something. And this is the first time this has ever happened where I have used it multiple times, had solidified in my mind what I felt about it, and then changed my mind. So I was still in time to do that, thankfully, and I think this one's kind of a disappointed for me, and I think it stems from the fact that I was so over the moon for it, and then it was like, the brakes got, you know, pump the brakes because there's a couple of things not working out for me. Why am I having to do this way? Figure out how to do this, and this one's very thin and sheer, and anyways, so that being said, I think this is going to be one that can't be a dazzled or disappointed. I don't dislike it. I think it's a very good palette. I'm just not dazzled like I thought I was, and I'm not disappointed because, again, it's not a bad product. You can create some beautiful holiday looks with this. Beautiful, sparkly, just the color scheme is wonderful for fall. It just is not a dazzled just because of all the things I mentioned. Just a lot of work going into it, shade in there that just really, The mattes you have to work at, you have to layer maybe 2, 3, 4 times depending on the level of intensity that you want. Alright guys, I hope you found this review helpful. I hate when I can't give you a dazzled or disappointed because it's kind of in the middle, like, And so I hope you at least found those tips helpful, that if you are going to pick this up, you can kind of implement those tips for each shade. And that way it saves yourself a little bit of trouble, a little bit of frustration, because you can go in knowing how to use them. So yeah, I hope you found this helpful. Before I let you go, I want to give you the verse of the day as I choke. excuse me. It comes from Proverbs 16:7, and it says, "When a man's ways are pleasing to the Lord, he makes even his enemies live at peace with him." Guys, I hope you've been having a wonderful day today. Hope it's just been a great day. It's the end of the day for me, and I'm ready to just kind of sit back and relax. So thank you so much for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you very soon in the next one. If you are new to my channel, hope you'll consider hitting that subscribe button. I'd love to have you as part of this YouTube family. We have a lot of fun on this channel together. This YouTube family really is unique, and I love it. So, all right, guys, take care. I will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.